Hey, we're here. I forgot the disclaimer, I know, but I'm here. Hello to all of you, and look what I've got. Ah, a Grumpy Supper shirt. It's Grumpy Supper. It's Grumpy Supper news. Oh my. No, it's special thanks to Sapper. Special thanks to Sapper for getting me this shirt. Really, a special thanks to him indeed. Yes. Look what I've got. Honestly, it's a fantastic shirt. Really, a fantastic shirt. Okay, who is here? Meet and greet. Hello to Jody. Hello to you. Pamela, thank you for saying you love it. You love my shirt. Looks great. Oh, bloody hell, my internet went blurry. Well, it seems all right, but I didn't realise it went blurry. It's been okay for now. I mean, for now, it's been okay, but yeah, but I didn't realise it went blurry. Nazi's in the chat. Hello to lovely Nazi. Hello, hello, hello to you. Dave Murphy. Well, it's good morning to you and down under because you're Saturday morning now, aren't you? We're Friday evening here as of yet. Georgie, oh gosh, I nearly forgot Georgie. Hello to Georgie. Sorry I forgot you, but I've just seen you now. And today, oh my word, what a day it's been. I mean, today marks the anniversary since I met my best friend, David Scott. But this time next year will mark 5 years. And this time next year, one should expect a big opening up as to what it's meant to me. What it's meant to me having David in my life and how it's helped me, because I met David, as many know, at what was a very low point, critically low point in my life. This time next year, I think I'm more than likely going to do it by video as opposed to online stream. Really open up on, as it's only right to do so on the 5th anniversary, what it's meant to me having someone like David in my life and what he got me into, which helped me see through the other end of the critically low stage I was going through in my lifetime. So it's been quite a day of appreciation today. Oh no, it was on a loading phase, because true friends, as I was saying, true friends like that of David Scott are truly very, very hard to find. No, really, they are very, very hard to find. Now, I'm back now. Please put a 1 if you can see me okay. But as I was saying, I mean, then I got partially cut off. True friends like David Scott are very hard to find. And in the 2 years followed after I met David came Dave Bryan and Jonathan Clements. So I do not take any 3 of these men for granted, because of what they've done for me. Because of what they've done for me and how they are as people, and how they've helped me through this critically. I mean, no, I was already through the low point in my life by the time I met Dave and Jonathan, but what David, because it was him, because since I met David, after what he got me into and the effect it's had on me, I couldn't be all the more thankful to David. And and don't get me wrong, I'm thankful to Jonathan and Dave too, because Jonathan got me into going to a museum that I never thought I would ever have any knowledge of until I went, and I'm happy that I go. Now, I've gone more times to the museum Jonathan got me into this year than I did last year when I first went. So I'm happy. I mean, really, having David, it was the big turning point when I met him, a real big turning point. And do not take your best friends or good friends for granted. And I couldn't emphasize that only strongly enough. I look at this day with appreciation, dignity, and respect. As does I too. As does I too. Gatsby. Thank you, Pamela. And speaking of presentations, I was going to show it on the last live, but connectivity issues, it buggered up the live stream, unfortunately. No, it unfortunately buggered up the live stream with the connectivity issues yesterday. But speaking of presentations, I've got the presentations that I was going to show yesterday, but because of buggered up internet connection, it didn't work. Sorry about the naughty language, but it's better. I think it was better than the other words I've used. We do, yes, Pamela. British Railways and the Union Pacific. And in Dave's neck of the woods, there's the Indian Pacific rail line, too, that takes you across a lot of the outback of Australia. How I know about this, before Dave asks, was because one of my old teachers from school actually did the Indian Pacific route when he was on holiday in Australia. So that's how I know about it. You're always so lovely, Nazi. If I could, I'd give you a nice long hug, if I could. And a nice long hug to Pamela and all in here. And also cuddles. Cuddles and tickles to Braveheart. And I don't know if Patches has moved in full-time as of yet. I mean, I don't know if Patches has moved in full-time as of yet, Pamela, but still, Pamela, if you're here, and your husband, if you're both still here, I'm looking forward to hearing as to when Patches has moved in full-time. Patches is just a beauty. Yeah, no, this is only true, right, Nazi, but I'm not one that takes them for granted. I'm not someone who takes friends or family for granted. I mean, to tell you something, I'm really not. No, really, I'm not. And especially after since meeting David and what he got me into and how it's helped me in life, I just do not take him one little bit for granted. And also, he's older than I. I can't say how old David is, but you know, and I don't know how long he's got left with life, you know, because he's quite a lot older than I. So I really don't take him for granted in that way. Patches sleeps in the breezeway with Braveheart. Oh, does she? So I'm guessing she's moved in full-time. Avalon Dreaming. Hello, used to have a horse named Patches. Oh, did you? Oh, Nazi. Oh, my lovely, lovely Nazi. Don't you know just how sweet you really are? You are just lovely in every way. And every time we've conversed on Sapper's live stream, live streams, you're unfailingly sweet and lovely to me. Really, you are. Hi, Kebby. Hello. Who is rescuing me, mind, from an awful day? Oh, you had an awful day. Oh, bless. Oh, bless. Oh, Gareth, you are funny. And you're full of surprises, but thank you. Thank you, Gareth. Thank you for the super thanks. Thank you. Thank you most sincerely, kindly indeed. Ding Dong Bells. Hello to Ding Dong Bells. Ding Dong Bells, do I know you? But hello to you all the same. Hello, hello, hello. You love riding on the trains in the UK and Europe much better than here in the US. No, the US and trains, there are some interesting ones, but in the US, it's predominantly a lot of freight in the US, as far as what I've seen. It's predominantly much more freight than it is of passenger services. But interesting learning the experience riding on the US is not as good in the UK or Europe. I wouldn't be surprised, Georgie. I wouldn't be surprised. You're usually a lurker. Oh, are you? I didn't know. Gorgeous, Gareth. Should your screen name... No, I mean, I'm generous. Oh, sorry, generous, not gorgeous, but Pamela's gorgeous. I certainly think so. Gorgeous with a very nice head of reddish brunette hair. Surprisingly not gone grey yet, despite getting a few greys, but not fully grey yet, impressively. And why I say impressively at her age, because when my grandfather Edmund, my late grandfather Edmund, when he was Pamela's age, he was grey already, and certainly did not look anywhere near as good as what Pamela looks like. Nowhere near, I would say. Well, obviously due to poor health, sadly so, and poor health, it can age you. But yes, no, but it really is it was very generous of Pamela to do so. Lol, I like lurking. Nothing wrong with lurking so long as it's done for the right reasons. But you, Gareth, you always lurk for the right reasons. I couldn't emphasize that more strongly enough. You know. Victoria, hello to you, Victoria. Hello indeed, hello. Oh, your Calico cat was Jennifer. Patches was an... I'm sorry I didn't read that properly. Is it Ava, short for Avalon, or do you say Avalon? Is it short for Ava? Please let me know. Please let me know. That's okay, so long as it's for the right reasons, that's the main thing. Hi, Diane. Hello to you. You are loving that Liberty tie, probably because you have the same one. Well, actually, Diane, you can please inform this to Harriet, but this is a Grumpy Sapper shirt. It's a Grumpy Sapper shirt. It came in the post yesterday, so thank you to Sapper. It's the Grumpy Sapper shirt. Do 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 do. You would advise against it if you see a little Belgian man with a moustache and a cane. Oh, Keith Richard did the Orient Express. I don't know the Keith Richards story. Lurker's always welcome, but we enjoy hearing from him. You'll probably not think I'm lovely if you're in my surgery. No one likes being at the dentist, but I do try to put patients at ease when the dental surgeon is drilling or worse. I wouldn't think you're lovely in the set. Really? Oh. Why are you being so hard on yourself, Nazi? Nazi, seeing you being hard on yourself, you're making me think of Wednesday Kennedy, who said that I'm not lovable, I'm cranky. And I was like, nonsense, you're very lovable. She had a very loving approach, clearly had a very loving approach to me. And she even actually asked me something which you really would not expect. And that's actually a very loving thing to ask someone. And if you can hear this, Nazi, Wednesday Kennedy asked, can I adopt you? Now, that is just a loving question to ask somebody. Complicated as that might be, it's one of the most loving questions you could ever ask somebody, if there's any way to describe it. Oh. But putting patients at ease, that's more than enough. That's more than a lovely thing to do, putting your patients at ease when there's drilling or worse going on, to tell you odd things. Oh, isn't she just? Victoria and Claude are in the chat. Hello to Victoria and Claude. And of course, Pie Wacket. There's Pie Wacket. Why do I keep forgetting the names of the cats? Wait a moment. I forgot. Normally, I'm very good at remembering names of cats, but I'm getting a bit rusty. Oh, Elise. Pie Wacket and Elise. And also there's Nella and Letty. Nella and Letty the dogs. And Letty the dog. Honestly, Letty the dog who was sitting at the cat's Honestly, that's a brilliant story. I know, and normally I can remember better, but no, I'm not laughing at what I'd forgotten. I'm laughing about the Letty in the cat's bed scandal. Honestly, just the best story and the best picture ever. Oh. I'm not very keen on dentists, actually, Blacksmith, so you're better than I. It's the Grumpy Supper shirt. Do-do-do, 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 do-do-do. Oh, hello, Yoni. Hello. Certainly a real pleasure to see you in here after a while. Hello. I'm hoping you're okay. Carol's in the chat. Hello to the lovely little Carol. The little wee Carol. Hello, hello, hello to you. Oh, the tie in the screenshot. No, that was a few last month when I was wearing that tie. That was last month. You're so lovely. You're so lovely to all, Carol. Really you are. You had a stray cat that you called Foxy. Oh, how lovely, Carol. I think I did see that, Carol, but I forgot to reply. Thank you for telling me so. Thank you. Thank you. Moni. Hello to Moni. Hello to you indeed. I look so well. I am well. I am very well, thank you. We've got nicer weather, to tell you one things, Yoli. Nicer weather, better incentive, better outing incentive, if there's any way to so describe it. You know, you've always been lucky with dentists. Oh, thank you for opening up so, Blacksmith. Thank you. I'm looking extra snappy today, or is it extra snap? Well, what I'm wearing, Kebby, it's the Grumpy Supper shirt. Oh, happy first birthday to your granddaughter, Yoli. I mean, but you look far too young. You look far too young to be a grandmother. Really, far too young. Oh, Ava, I am dreadfully sorry hearing this. No, really, Ava, I am sorry. No, if that had happened, if I'd had Daphne, if she died during COVID, I wouldn't have coped with the loss. I wouldn't have coped. No, I wouldn't have been able to cope. You know, I'm very, very sorry, Ava. Very, very sorry. But yes, keep it cheerful. As Pamela's saying now, Ava, please keep it cheerful. Please keep the chat cheerful. But Ava, we are sorry for the loss of your cat and what you had to endure, but we do need to keep it cheerful, as my mod Pamela so respectfully saying. Carol, hello, hello, hello to you indeed. Hello, hello to lovely Carol, and greetings always. I know, Carol, yes, but got to keep things cheerful. Back soon, Basil wants his supper. He's always hungry, the big monster, isn't he? There's the little monster, as Blacksmith would say. I could do his voice impression. There's the little monster. There he is. The monster who's hungry right now, Ginger Monster. Well, he's not really a monster. He's a handsome boy, really, who's hungry. Bit of a softie, really. That's why medical branch of the Navy ordering people Oh, sorry, I'm a bit of a softie, really. That's why I went into the medical branch of the Navy. Ordering people to take better care of their teeth was much easier than barking orders like others did. You know what they do in the Navy? They always bark orders at bloody others, don't they? That's what they always do. You know. No, I don't agree with barking orders at others. I don't agree with that. I really don't. No, of course, Pamela. All of us sympathise with loss, whether it's loss of pet, loss of loved ones, or going through low points like I've gone through a low point, a critically low point at the time when I met David. You know, we empathise with anyone's going through troubling circumstances, don't we? So Ava, don't worry, we do sympathise. Just because we had that reminder, it does not mean we do not sympathise. We do. We well and truly do. And Pamela couldn't have got this more right here. Ding dong bells, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. He is a hungry boy. He's certainly a hungry boy. I wish I could have a cat with so many years. People in the chat have cats, but your allergies prevent you. Yes, because you've got your companion, Oscar. Oh God, has Harriet been telling you this, Diane? I better sort out. I'll actually tell you something, Diane. It's not buttoned up to the top. It's if it was buttoned up to the top. That's when I get, sort your collar out, or we'll steal your fucking cat. Oops, sorry, Kev. Oops, sorry about the language. Oops. Maybe that will do. Maybe that will do. Thank you. A whole year into retirement. Oh gosh, everyone wants to retire now, and get away from working with younger people. But that's just me being a bit outspoken, merely so. But there you are. That's Aussie Ann, Jessie, Aussie Ann. Hello to Aussie Ann, Jessie. Hello, hello, hello to you. Oscar is naughty, but so sweet at the same time. He's your heart. But one thing I need to let you know, we're only doing about 1 hour today, just to let each and every one of you know. 1 hour. We're not going to do very particularly long. You like my collar out? Thank you. But with a cool shirt and a blazer jacket, I like one part of the collar tucked in with the blazer or suit jacket, and one part that sticks out. I don't mind that when it's got a cool shirt, when I've got a cool looking shirt or a tropical shirt. That, I mean, I may be a more traditional dresser, but there's part of me, the only part that's partially non-traditional is if I'm wearing a tropical or cool shirt and the way I tuck it in with a blazer. Or say, for example, if I, for example, was going to say, if I was invited out to a Caribbean party that involved Caribbean culture, or, for example, since my late grandfather, my mother's father, came from Jamaica back in the 1950s, I would more than likely wear a tropical shirt. If it was cold, a cool jumper, a tropical shirt, and cool trousers and cool shoes, just to try and make the look, make the look fairly flashy, but not too flashy, but good enough to look cool enough, or fairly cool, but not to be. I've never been one of those people who'd be, hey, I'd like to look like the cool kids. Hey, look at me. I'm going to be the cool kids. No. I've never been like that. I've certainly never been like that. To assuredly tell you more things. Good evening, Bill. Good evening to you. And I'll text you tonight. I'm giving you a text message tonight, Bill. Got to plug my laptop in. It's low on battery. Okay. Okie dokie. Yourself and Ken? Who's Ken? Carol, who's Ken? I thought you were divorced. I sincerely thought you were divorced. I didn't know you were still married, but is Ken your husband or your partner? And also, is Ken tall or is he short like you, if I may ask you? I mean, or is he fairly small like me? Not into high fashion either. No, I'm not a high fashion man. I'm certainly not a high fashion man. Says to someone who's always only into jumpers and cardigans, or even a few suits, or a few suits or suit jackets. But this, I didn't buy this suit jacket. This was my late grandfather's blazer. I inherited this from him after he died, just to let you know. So that's my grandfather's suit jacket I'm wearing. But I'd like to hear about Ken, Carol. And I imagine he's your protector, isn't he? If he's tall, he would almost certainly be your protector. Come here, my Carol. If he's tall, come here, you. Oh, come here, you. Come here, you. Oh, come here. And then there's Carol. Oh, my protector, Ken. Oh. Feeding up. No, I know that, Pamela. I certainly know that. And well done for all that you do. I've got to show the shirt off. Okay, if I take my blazer off, ding-along bells. It's the grumpy soccer shirt. Look at this. It's short sleeve. Do 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 do. I think I'd look like Ernie Hudson if you saw me in full figure. Actually, no, I wouldn't. But if he'd had this shirt on, he'd be just completely muscled if that was him. And he's a lot older than I, but you'd never believe his age. But could you imagine if that was Ernie Hudson wearing the Grumpy Sapper shirt? It would go viral. Well, because of his age and because of what he looks like at his age. I mean, but when he was Pamela's sort of age, he looked like half his age easily. Like easily half his age. I mean, and he's black, so obviously black people in Pamela's age and certainly older, they generally tend to look younger than the typical white people his sort of age, and certainly many years younger in several cases. That's the price to pay being black, but there we are. Not trying to be racist, but it's only a truth. Always feeding your cats four cats and 3 strays. It was a real surprise that came in the mail. It was really a surprise mail, and I'm thankful for the surprise. Oh, you have nobody in your life. You'd rather be with your cats. Oh, okay. I mean, but you mentioned Ken. Exercise leggings and a shirt. Oh, Keb. Oh, to Kebby. Oh, sorry. Definitely would love a tall man. Gosh, you really have it for tall men, don't you? Well, Pamela's was married to a tall man. Well, Pamela's tall herself, so it sort of makes sense in one way or another. And it works for them, but surprise you as it might, Jessie, aka the Aussie Ann, that is, surprise you as it might, Pamela's parents are taller than her. And her children are all taller than her, with her parents and her children and her husband all being no shorter than 6 foot. And yet Pamela, who's a bit taller than I at 5'10", I'm 5'8", so I'm taller than you because you're only a mere 5 feet. You know, but could you imagine that? Whereas you might be tall, but yet a lot of your relatives are generally taller than yourself. Can you imagine that? That's about the same height as Pamela's husband, just to let you know, 6'2". But her son is 6'4", to tell you something. 6'4", 210 pounds, and is huge. He's a big lad. He's a big lad. Pamela and her husband's son. Whereas Pamela and her husband, they're not huge. They're not huge. They're not petite and skinny. No, they're both they're slender. They're slender but strong people, is how you describe them. Slender but strong. But you wouldn't think they're skinny and petite, especially if you saw them. You know, they're just, there's a difference between slender and muscular than there is a skinny and petite. Whereas my mother, for example, would be skinny and fairly petite. With Pamela, that's not the case. New member, Ding Dong Bells. Oh, thank you for becoming a member. You certainly didn't have to, but thank you all the same. Hi, Deborah. Hello to you. Hello to you. A shirt with my avatar. No, I'm going to, Diane. I'm going to do that in the future, but only when chance allows. Don't mind what height a man is, so long as he has intelligence. That's the main thing. Not only intelligence, but kindness and dignity, if there's any way to so describe it. You very much, Mrs. Oh, yes, we need more dignity, don't we, Jess? We need more dignity. Our Aussie and Jess, we need more dignity. But I want to show something, really. It appeals to me, and I find it funny. I'm going to show this before I show the presentations. And let's give this funny thing a watch first. I'm going to show now. It's a cut from archival footage that I found. It was a video my friend sent me, and I cut this ending part. for comedy purposes. Let's show it.
I've got when I've requested, all our response arrive, so she can shout,
"Get out of here, quick, or right up inside!" When you are lost in London and you don't know where you are, you hear my voice a calling, fast further down the car, and very soon you'll find yourself inside the terminus. London Transport diesel engine, nice and horsepower omnibus. We don't ask much for wages, we only want their shares. So come down all the stages and stick up all the fares. If tickets cost £1 a piece, why should you make a fuss? It's worth it just to ride inside the 30-foot long by 8-foot wide. Inside that mono off the road, observer of the highway code. That big six-wheeler trolley painted London Transport diesel engine, nice and horsepower omnibus.
hold very tight, please.
This appeals to me the most. If it's for comedy purposes, that is what appeals to me most. Couldn't agree with you more. Couldn't agree with you more, Jess. It's what appeals to me most, especially that would make good comedy. No, it's too funny. It's too funny, something like that, Pamela. Yes, I'd laugh at that. One can only laugh at that. Honestly, it appeals to me so much. I could just watch this over and over again and never tire of that. Wasn't it just, Georgie? Georgie, there's something I could just watch over and over again and never tire of. But the older buses have real better value. I much prefer the older buses than I do with the newer ones, Carol. Very much prefer the older ones than the newer ones. Imagine that clip being done by Sapper, a choir of mead. Oh, that'd be brilliant. Used to love digging ponds for the wildlife, your fish. I really have to do it again.
I've got when I've requested, all our response arrive, so she can shout,
"Get out of here, quick, or right up inside!" When you are lost in London and you don't know where you are, you hear my voice a calling, fast further down the car, and very soon you'll find yourself inside the terminus. London Transport diesel engine, nice and horsepower omnibus. We don't ask much for wages, we only want their shares. So come down all the stages and stick up all the fares. If tickets cost £1 a piece, why should you make a fuss? It's worth it just to ride inside the 30-foot long by 8-foot wide. Inside that mono off the road, observer of the highway code. That big six-wheeler trolley painted London Transport diesel engine, nice and horsepower omnibus.
hold very tight, please.
Honestly, I'm happy I took a cut from that and edited it as something. Oh, honestly, I can't get enough of that. I really can't. It's too funny, something like that. Hoping they'll visit and take up residence. You've been reading up a lot on their history, their dietary needs, and spotting signs of illness, disease. Such a shame they've retired now, the route masters. They've retired, unfortunately. Those were the bygone era buses, route masters. Bygone era. As lovely Carol would say. This is the Carol Donaldson, who would really make a good protector for our little Carol. Or as Carol would say, my beautiful protector. I mean, it's funny. It's funny. I found it funny. As does I too. And it's thank goodness for bus rally events that show these older buses, Asby. There's any way to describe it. We have a small pond near the house we call the wildlife pond because the deer, foxes, and coyotes come and drink at sunset. Now that I've shown some comedy, it's time to show presentation. Let's have a watch. Okay, welcome to this presentation regarding British Rails, or BR, which, as you know, British Rail was a state-owned company that operated most of the rail transport in Great Britain. It existed from 1948 to 1997, and its legacy still influences modern UK rail services. Railways have played a vital role in the economic, industrial and social development of the UK. Origins of the British Railways. The railways in Britain began in the early 19th century with pioneers like George Stephenson. By the early 20th century, numerous private railway companies operated across the UK, but post-World War II, in 1948, the Labour government, under the leadership of then Clement Attlee, nationalised the railways under the Transport Act 1947, forming British Railways. The British Rail era, 1948-1997, managed under the British Transport Commission, later British Railways Board, operated all major passenger and freight rail services, introduced several technological innovations, diesel and electric planes replaced steam trains, developed intercity services and the high-speed train. Notable branding, the iconic double arrow logo and BR blue livery. But the Beeching cuts of 1963, during the BR era, Dr. Richard Beeching's report led to a major reduction in the rail network. Over 2,000 stations and 5,000 miles of track were closed to save money. Criticised for isolating rural communities that seen as necessary by some for modernisation. Privatisation under then leadership by former Prime Minister John Major in the Conservative government coalition, British Rail was privatised. Infrastructure was split from operators. Railtrack, later Network Rail, took over tracks and stations. Passenger services divided into franchises run by private companies. Controversial move with ongoing debates about efficiency and public ownership. But British Rail's legacy, when looking at it today, set the foundation for today's rail system, known for standardisation of rolling stock, modernisation of old infrastructure, creating efficient high-rail prototypes. Many of its innovators, such as intercity trains, are still used or evolve today. The modern rail network, currently run by a mix of private companies and Network Rail, a public body. New body, Great British Railways, GBR, is being formed to integrate track and train operations again. Ongoing investment in HS2 electrification and greener rail transport. But the fun facts of British Rail, this comes in interesting. The UK has one of the oldest rail systems in the world. The term British Rail sandwiches became infamous for poor food quality. The Flying Scotsman was one of British Rail's most famous locomotives. This would not surprise me. British Railways played a key role in shaping Britain's transport and economy. Its nationalisation, innovation and eventual privatisation remain a topic of political and social debate. Understanding British Rail's history helps understand current transport challenges and opportunities. Thank you for listening on this presentation about BR British Railways. Well, that's a presentation on BR. It's defunct, unfortunately, now, BR, but there has been rumours for Great British Railways in recent times. No. Thank you, Pamela. Thank you. We don't have trains anymore here. Where you live, only modern ones in the big cities. Only the modern trains. It's really not fun. It's really unamusing when they take over the old ones, isn't it, Jess? Only yes, so. Oh, it's a pleasure, Victoria. It's only a pleasure. Thank you, Jodie. Thank you. Thank you, Pamela. Thank you. Certainly among your favourites. That's BR, and a lot of this is truth about BR history. BR history and all that. British Railways. When you lived in London, your two buses were the 22 and the 14. I especially loved the 14 as it went to the V&A, Harrods, Hyde Park, Piccadilly and Shaftesbury Avenue. A lovely ride. Only imagine so, but it'd be too dangerous to do a ride like that now. Personally, it's generally quite good, but the only problem is too many modern trains nowadays. If you want to see older trains, like the old DMU units and things, you'd now have to go to places like Bristol or up north before they were all retired from working service. Or to see any better trains, go to the preserved steam railways, be it standard gauge or narrow gauge, what have you. But there we are. And a lot of buses nowadays, it's getting a bit boring to see buses regularly now because a lot of them are modern in my neck of the woods, and certainly London too. The only time where you'd really get to see an old bus is if there's a special event going on, be it bus rally events and things, and that's about it, you know. They still had some old buses when I was a little boy, but then they retired them when I was a teenager. Being in England, you'd be amazed if you saw a coyote at your pond. It must be an amazing sight. Lots of yes, this is true. Lots of deers and foxes. Indeed, we do not see. Indeed, we do. We have them. Oh, you'd want to pet me? Do you really want to pet me? Would you want to pet me? Oh, I'd certainly let you. I'd certainly let you touch my face if you wanted to, because a lot of women and girls have a thing for grabbing hold of men's faces if they think that a man's face is handsome or appealing enough to just grab hold of it. I've seen that several times. Honestly. No, but I wouldn't mind a nice long hug from you and all that. Lovely Kebs. Oh, have you got to go? Goodbye for now, Aspie. You take care. And if it's a walk with Oscar, have a good walk with him. And hoping yourself and Oscar have a good weekend if I don't see you later on. Goodbye for now, Aspie. Hello, Pamela. Hello to you. Oh, sorry, Pamela. You were saying goodbye to Aspie. No, I love the hugs too. I'd certainly give you a hug, my lovely Jess. See, well, because you're quite short. Not only could I hug my lovely Aussie and Jess, but I could protectively hug. I could certainly protectively hug you. And I would certainly find it hard to let go. Dangerous. Well, it depends where you are in London. There are many more parts of London that's scary dangerous, unfortunately. So bus routes in the dangerous parts of London, avoid is my advice. But again, I'd leave it up to one's own individual risk assessment. Oh, geez, just joined the live. The discussion on touching the face. Well, I've seen a lot of women do that to men if they think that a man's face is handsome or appealing enough to just touch and grab it. Haven't you seen a lot of women and girls? I'm sure you've seen this in America, Nutmeg, where there's a young lady, if they're in a relationship with a man who they think is handsome, they just want to grab hold of the face or touch the face. I've seen this several times by picture. Oh, we love you too, Nutmeg. We love you too. You pet your husband's beard. He has a beard. I didn't know he had a beard. I thought he had a clean... actually, can I tell you something, Pamela? Can I tell you something, Pamela? I actually very honestly pictured your husband to be clean-shaven. I actually pictured him to be clean-shaven. Like, really. I literally pictured him being a clean-shaven man. But interesting learning, he has a beard. Not only if handsome, but sweet. Last time he was in the bus in London was when he went to Wimbledon tennis. Oh, I love you too, Nutmeg. I really hope it was not in a scary, dangerous area, Carol. I sincerely hope it was not a scary, dangerous area. Hi, Holla. Hello to you. Your husband and son both have beards. Now that I didn't know, but interesting. They've both got beards. Deborah Coleman's son has got a beard, to tell you of things. Bjorn Borg. Don't know enough about Bjorn, but Bjorn Borg. You just pet your dog. Daniel de Blocks Gamer. Last week you decided to boot up and brave the rain to go to Trent Barton's Red Arrow new coach launch event. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh, we love you too, Nutmeg. Oh, I mean, who couldn't? It was not just that you missed, but there was something I was opening up about earlier on in the live, Nutmeg. And the thing that I opened up about because today marks the anniversary. Oh, sorry. I mean, but what I was opening up about earlier in the live, Nutmeg, was opening up about because today marks the anniversary since I met my best friend, David Scott. So that's another thing you missed. But no trouble, you can watch it on the replay. It will be watchable on replay to tell you of things. Because I was talking about today being the anniversary of the anniversary of meeting David Scott, my bestie. I did get the picture, Nutmeg, but I'm sorry I've not commented on it as of yet. I will comment on the picture of the truck. You saw my post about it. Oh, did you, Ding Dong Bells? Oh, did you? I don't take David for granted, Nutmeg. I really don't. For all that he's done to me, all that he's done for me since meeting him, and how it's helped me in my life. I'm enormously thankful to him, big time, and do not take any of my time I spend with him for granted. And especially with him being a lot older than I don't know how much longer he's got, and I'm obviously not going to have. Obviously, I'm not going to have him as a friend forever. He's obviously going to go before me. So, whatever time I have left spending with him, I appreciate it enormously and hugely, with much dignity and respectability. No, David, honestly, I need to confess this, Nutmeg. I don't think I could have ever coped with my troubling circumstances had I never met David and took up what he got me into. I don't think I would have ever coped if it wasn't for meeting someone like David. I'm only truly acutely aware of this now when looking back and reflecting on the anniversary of when we first met. Really, and I mean that. I truly mean that. I saying this. And then in the 2 years followed came Dave Bryan and Jonathan Clements, who again I don't take for granted because, sadly, Nutmeg, very, very sadly, Dave Bryan and Jonathan Clements have got poor health, unfortunately. Dave Bryan suffered food poisoning. I mean, after a 4th or 5th bout of food poisoning, he's now got lifelong IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, which affects how much he can eat and what he can eat. Because the more he eats, the more it can hurt his guts and the longer he could spend on the toilet. And Jonathan, on the other hand, sadly, he suffered a stroke about 15 years ago. And since he had the stroke, since he suffered the stroke, daily meds, since he had the stroke, he's only 63. He's only 63, Jonathan is, and yet since he was age 48, he's been on stroke meds. No, unfortunately, Nutmeg, since Jonathan's stroke, he's on the meds and it's poor health. He has good days and bad days. He does say he's okay, but with a stroke, unfortunately, it wrecks people's health, especially if you have to take meds daily, because since the stroke. And Dave, he can't always guarantee if he can go out if entertaining or go out for important circumstances or family circumstances because of his poor health, unfortunately, the IBS that he's got. So, and he's only 53, Dave, and yet he deals with this poor health. So he can't fly. He doesn't fly anymore because should something happen to him due to his health. And also he has to be careful what he does and what he eats. No, I love serenity out there, and I love... But David, he's okay, just let you know. It's Dave Bryan who's not got good health. Dave Bryan is not in good health, and Jonathan Clements is not in good health. But it's David Scott, he's okay for health. He did have a minor high cholesterol ordeal late in 2021, but other than that, he's okay. He overcame the high cholesterol and he's okay. But it's Jonathan and Dave who are not in good health, unfortunately. Thanks, Diane, but I'm going to get my hair cut. I'm going to have my hair cut on Monday. It's getting a bit long now, but I'm going to have it cut on Monday. It's about time I had it cut. It's sincerely about time I had it cut. No, if I'd not met David or not met anybody, Pamela, had I not met, if I'd not met David or anybody who had important friendship value to me, given what I was going through at the time, I would have probably, I wouldn't have been able to find something to heal from the troubles. I struggled to find something to heal from the troubles. And I think had I not found out about met David or taken up what he got me into, I think, I'm looking back now, Pamela, I'm acutely aware that I would have quite likely either needed therapy or counselling. So, I mean, but with the event attending that I took up, it's better going to better that the Steam Rally Classic Car and Historic Commercial Vehicle event attending was a healing, came as a sort of healing therapy, which helped me through the low point in my life, than having to go through counselling or therapy. Better that than counselling and therapy, if there's any way to describe it. Better that than counselling and therapy. This is really true, Pamela. Having good friends is a key element to a good life, isn't it just? Oh, have you got to go? Oh, city politics. Oh, you're in the city politics. I didn't realise. But do take care, Nutmeg. Do take care. Oh, have you got to go? Busy day ahead. First aid training for work. Big hugs to you always. Yes, only just, Jodie. You're too right. You had a friend that came into your life 3 years ago has helped you so very much. Same with David, it's helped me very much as well. It really it has. I mean, from what I'd gone through, Ding Dong Bells, and how it affected me personally, what I'd gone through, but you get people who go through a lot worse than what I've gone through and think of just as how much it would affect them as much as it affected me with the trouble I went through. And no, it's not funny. You know, and what I'd gone through, you know, it was a big turning point, meeting David and what he introduced me to. It was a very, very big turning point. But this time next year will mark 5 years since I met David. And 5 years, I'm going to really open up. I'm going to really open up this time next year. And and a lot of you, it might be eye-opening to some, what I've gone through, but I think it would be worth sharing, you know, because it's going to be explaining what it's really meant to me, having David and what he got me into and how it's affected me personally. It's election season. A lot is going on. Oh, I can imagine. Yes. No, yeah. I can only imagine. Oh, are you travelling? You take care, lovely Diane. Yes, a nice warm hug to you and Harriet always. I'm so glad you've got Anne. I'm so glad you've got Anne, Pamela. I'm really pleased you got Anne. That helped you see through the low points and the tough times in your life. So glad you've got her, because we need a good friend to help see us through the tough times, don't we? And I came to this very strong realization since meeting David. Hello, Debs. Hello to you always. Hello to you. Always lovely to see you. And Itala, hello to you. And now time for the final presentation, and then we've got to finish things off. Oh, right, okay. Now in this presentation, we're going to be talking about the Union Pacific. The Union Pacific is one of the most iconic and essential railroads in the United States of America. Founded on the 1st of July, 1862, with being headquartered in Omaha, Nebraska, freight rail transportation with 32,000 route miles in 23 states. Union Pacific is a leading freight hauling railroad operating across the western two-thirds of the United States, and it has grown into one of the most important arteries for U.S. commerce. Part of the first transcontinental railroad, 1869, supported wartime logistics in World War I and World War II in the key role of the westward expansion. Union Pacific played a crucial role in American history, especially in building the Transcontinental Railroad in 1869, where it connected east and west coasts, dramatically transforming commerce, migration, and the U.S. economy. It operates 8,000 plus locos, transports goods like agricultural products, chemicals, industrial goods, automobiles, and intermodal containers. It has a market cap of $130 billion in net worth as of 2025, with an annual revenue of $25 billion a year, with a strong payout history. And Union Pacific is also a financial powerhouse. Its strong earnings, dividends, and resilience make it one of the most top railroad stocks in the U.S. country, exploring hybrid and battery electric locomotives, fuel efficiency initiatives, emission reduction targets, safety technology improvements for its sustainability and innovation for the future. And challenges and opportunities are the labour negotiations, supply chain disruptions, infrastructure investments, growing demand for rail freight, as is the case in a lot of countries, and a key player in US logistics, historical and economic impact, innovating for the future. And thank you for taking the time and listening to this presentation on the Union Pacific in the United States of America as a whole. Well, now that was Union Pacific. I'll Sappers in the chat, hello to you. My chat, raise your spirits. No trouble if you're late, Sapper, no trouble if you're not late. But the replay is watchable. Love the shirt, not the dirt. Dirt on the shirt. Imagine if there was, but it's the Grumpy Sapper shirt. Do 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 do. No, Sapper, thank you for the shirt. It fits perfectly. Thank you, Sapper. I really like the shirt. I really like the shirt. No, and what was I going to say? Union Pacific is American, Pamela. And why I've done the Union Pacific presentation is because a lot of you who follow me, a lot of you are from the United States of America, and I thought it was only too right to talk about the Union Pacific and its history to captivate one's interest. And because a lot of you because Union Pacific's American, I thought it would come at great interest. That was what gave me the incentive to do a presentation on Union Pacific. Kim P, hello to you. Just a flying visit. And Andrea, hello. No trouble about being late. No trouble at all. No trouble at all. No trouble at all. Thank you, Pamela. Thank you. No, and what I was saying earlier on, please, you needn't worry now. And why you needn't worry? Because in reference to saying that today marks the anniversary since I met David Scott, my best friend, and how he's helped me through when meeting him at what was a very critically low point in my life. But then, which I'm really, I consider myself one of the lucky people to have come out the other end of the very critically low point of my life at the time. So, so please, you needn't worry. Since I've met David, I'm very happy now. Since I've met David, I have a very good life. I've got a very good quality of life now, and I've got a good family, good friends. Certainly, a very good best friend, who I wouldn't change having for the world. And then the other two best friends that followed within the next 2 years, Dave Bryan and Jonathan Clements. I've got a very, very good life now. So you needn't worry. I mean, if you'd known me 4 years ago, I think you would have been worried. But you really needn't be worried now, because I've got a good life now, and I'm very happy now. Since I met David, that's what's made all the difference now in my life, what he got me into and how it's affected me personally. Just to say. And Victoria, I really want to say thank you for the very nice things you had to say when I did the post opening up about the anniversary since I met David. Thank you. Thank you. Got medium as it's from China. I think medium would be our small. A Chinese medium would likely be our small. Thank you, Kim. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Ding Dong Bells. Thank you. Thank you for the super thanks. Thank you. You certainly didn't have to, but thank you. Thank you. Georgie, you are too right. You are certainly too right. Andrea, if I could, I'd give you a big, big, tight hug. I really could. Oh, I just want to give you the big... Honestly, Andrea, I just want to give you the biggest, longest, tightest of hugs. I really do. And a happy birthday to Ding Dong Bells. Right, where's the music for happy birthday? I don't have a picture of Ding Dong Bells, but I do have the happy birthday music. So next time it's Ding Dong Bells' birthday, I can have a picture of Ding Dong Bells and the musical picture. So happy birthday, Ding Dong Bells. Let's hit it. Happy birthday, Ding Dong Bells. And really, thank you for the generous super thanks. I mean, on your birthday, you didn't have to do that. But thank you, Ding Dong Bells. Thank you. Certainly, many happy returns indeed. Jess had to go. Ozzy and Jess Zappa had to go because of first aid training for dogs tomorrow. Nutmeg had to go because of city politics. Flapper, hello. I didn't see you there, but hello. I might have missed you, but hello, lovely Flapper. Not without a hug to my lovely little Flapper. My small 5'2" lady Flapper. Ah, I wouldn't say hello without a hug. Ah. Even though I know you've got a 6'2" protector, being that of your husband. A 6'2" protector is probably all that you need for a little 5'2" lady. Ah. I bet he really is. I imagine he's a very good protector to you. And I imagine you get a lot of protective hugs from him, since he's quite a tall man. And he'd really be more than good enough to be a good protector to you, wouldn't he? Ah. I love a good Wurlitzer too, Ding Dong Bells. I really do. Some you missed, but you missed a lot of the live supper. But don't worry. Think life gets in the way. It's no trouble, but it's watchable on replay. It's far more than watchable on replay, Sapper. And I had an important opening up to make shortly after the live stream started, because today marks the anniversary since I met David Scott, my best friend, and the effect it's had on me because of what he got me into doing. David, because it was at what was a critically low point in my life. And one thing I want to say, if you are under a low is currently going through a, or if you are currently going through a low point, or have gone through a low point, or do know anyone going through a low point in their lives, do not feel afraid to seek help. And if your friends told you that that they're going through a low point, you really, please, tell them that they don't need to be afraid to open up. And do feel free to let them open up their point and story behind why they're going through a low point. And if there's any of you who are going through a low point, don't be afraid. You shouldn't be afraid to open up about it. And also, if someone comes into your life and if you think they've got good value for friendship, take the friendship and take what they suggest, like what David suggested to me, which was at the Steam Rally event shortly after we first met. I took the bull by the horns and I went. And then when I went, I saw, when I went to the Steam Rally event, it was the first time I'd ever gone. I really felt as though I was a storybook that you read to you. I really felt like I was a storybook, you know, when you're reading a bedtime story to your children. That literally, I thought that. The sights of vintage, smell of steam, sight of enchantment. It was priceless. And it was after the event was over, I decided that I was going to go again. And I've been going to the Steam Rally ever since August 2021. Either once annually or up to 3 times annually. And I get great enjoyment out of it. And it was only the following year, in 2022, that there were more Steam Rallies to come. And what a difference it's made to my life. It eventually saw me through the lowest point in my life. I emotionally healed from the wounds by 42. And it was by 2023, was the first year in a long time since I'd had a full year that was generally better. Nobody can have a year, an annual year, that's 100% good. But having a year that's through a low point in recovery phase is another thing, from what I've experienced. So if you are going through a low point, please reach out. Don't feel afraid to reach out to someone. I mean, go ahead and reach out to a friend you're close with or family you're close with. If you're dealing with a low point in your life, don't feel afraid to do so. I'm only too glad that I took David's suggestion going to the Steam Rally and other events he got me into. So that's what I would say. And especially seeing the other end, I do not take for granted that I saw the other end of the low point. I consider myself lucky that I came out the other end of it. Next year is going to be the big opening up. I'm going to likely do it by video in this time next year because of the 5th anniversary. You know, and it's a very personal and important. You know, it's a very important and personal friendship to me. Being friends with someone like David, really, it is. I mean, I'm only acutely aware now that I don't think I could have ever coped with my troubling circumstances had I never met David or taken up what David got me into doing. I don't think I could have ever coped with my troubling circumstances. No, I was broken. I was broken. I was broken like shattered pieces of glass when I met David. I had very few good days. I had more bad days than I had good days. You know, so that's my advice I'd give to anybody going through a low point, or knowing somebody, or if they know someone who's going through a low point in their lives, that or if they realize someone's going through a low point, they should ask if they're okay. And they say, what's the problem? I'd recommend one empathizes. No, and I do too. I had the family as well. The family was actually very concerned about the low point, about the lowest point I'd gone through in my life. They were actually very concerned for me, only rightly so, and understandably so. I mean, they were very pleased that I came out the other end, my mother particularly. And not only am I thankful to David, my mother is thankful. My mother is particularly thankful to David. She actually met David, and seeing the joy on my mother, the joyous happiness on my mother's face when she met David, was a valuable moment to see. And even she very much likes David. Deeply held feelings. Thanks, Pamela. Thanks, Deborah. It's only true. You have tears in your eyes. Well, had I not met David or taken up what he got me into, Andrea, I would have far more than likely needed therapy or counselling. So it's better the event attending that came as a healing, because it was like a healing therapy for me in a way. Going to the event attending, steam rallies, classic car, historic commercial vehicle events, and think that I took up because it was David that got me into it. It was better that was a form of healing therapy to me than having to go through the trouble of needing counselling and therapy. It was better that than going through counselling and therapy, to tell you odd things, Andrea. And I'm actually glad I took this up, because it was better that than counselling and therapy, because I was certainly heading down that path of counselling and therapy. Thank you, Pamela. Thank you. Thank you, Sapper. Thank you. If I meet a lovely lady, you'll be one of the first to know, Sapper. Actually, if all of you, because I know some of you have my Discord or are in my Discord server, once I've met a girl, whether it's the girl I met at Lewis Station, the one at the Veteran Car Run, or the one I met on the train on the way to an American classic car show event, all of you will be the first to know, one of the first to know. Certainly will you be one of the first to know. Oh, it would, Debs, it really would. Thank you, Jodie. No, I'm really thankful I had David. That I met David at that time, because if I hadn't, I think my life really could have gone the other way had I not met David. It truly could have gone the other way. Thanks, Stevie. No, it was today's the anniversary since I met my best friend, David, and the effect it's had on me personally. Yes, I'm in Sapper's Dapper shirt, yes. It's the Grumpy Sapper shirt. I didn't mean to reduce you to tears, Andrea. I really didn't. But thank you for saying I'm strong. People do come into our life. Ding dong bells. Yes, people do come into our life for a very good reason, and a completely good reason. No, thank you, Pamela. Thank you. No kissing on the first date. No, I'll try not to kiss Sapper. Because actually, when I met the girls, the one at Lewis, particularly the one at Lewis railway station, and the one at the Veteran Car Run, and the one I met on the train on the way to an American Classic Car Show event, I actually wanted to kiss them. I really did want to kiss them. Well and truly so. That lady would be incredibly blessed. But they'd probably be crying if I had to open up I mean, they were beautiful girls. I mean, no, they were very pretty girls, the ones I went to. One was very attractive, the one at the Veteran Car Run. Very attractive girl, very good hair. And surprise me as it might, they were blondes, the three. And I have a thing for blondes. I've really got a thing for blondes and brunettes. But if I have a dark-haired girl, I've got a dark-haired girl. Never mind if it's not a blonde. So as we have the same values, well, but the at the Lewis railway station had this rock cart. I mean, she was a petite. She was an absolute petite, the girl. A figure reminiscent of that of Callista Flockhart. You know, very, very petite stature. She didn't look like Callista Flockhart, but she had the body figure like her. I mean, seeing Callista Flockhart's figure by pictures is one thing, but if you see it that resembles it, even if it's not exactly like it, but merely closely resembles it, if it closely resembles it, it's a figure you would nearly go for. Or for some, it's a figure I could nearly go for. There's any way to describe it. Okay, then, no leg over. No, I'm definitely not going to do a leg. David is just marvellous, Stevie. He is truly marvellous in every way. And we've gone well over an hour, so it's time to show. Let's show some more comedy before we finish things off. But those of you who came on late, it's no trouble. The live will be watchable on replay in full. So there's going to be some more. I'm going to show the funny thing to those who missed it, and then it's time to finish things off. And we have a restream live stream on the 28th of July. And also, like I said before, we're going to hybrid between Restream and StreamYard.
I've got the red I requested, although it's born to ride, so she can shout.
Get out of it, we're full right up inside. When you are lost in London and you don't know where you are, you can hear my voice a calling, I'll further down the car, and very soon you'll find yourself inside the terminus. London Transport diesel engine, nice and horsepower omnibus. We don't ask much for wages, we only want their shares. So cut down all the stages and stick up all the fares. If tickets cost £1 apiece, why should you make a fuss? It's worth it just to ride inside the 30-foot long by 8-foot wide. Inside that monoblock, the road will turn on the highway. Built that big six-wheel and solid painted London Transport diesel engine, nice and horsepower omnibus.
Hold very tight, please.
The song is going to tick in your brain now. It's already in my brain now, Victoria. But unfortunately, it's time to, you know, all the words to this. Oh my God. Right, it's time to finish things off. When it happens, I'll let you know. But it's time to finish things off. But thank you very much for taking the time to watching this very live stream. Please let me know what your thoughts are on this in the comments down below. And I shall certainly see you in the very next live stream, which will be Restream Showtime on the 28th of July, 2025, for about a good 1 hour. Thank you most sincerely, kindly for watching, and I shall certainly see you in the next on the Restream Live. And next week we've got the Mother and Son Live with my auntie to join as well. Ta-ta for now, another time.
Thanks for coming, everyone, from your friend Foxy. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe on the way out.